Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wild Wolf Financial Team. This is Jim and I'll be your financial analyst in gold. I'd like to first discuss what happened last week before I move further. Now, as we all know, last week did belong to the buyers. It was definitely a very strong bullish week. Now, we currently are expecting gold to be on the same uprising trend. And due to certain economic data that I have mentioned in my previous videos, we got to understand in which way the gold is moving. Now, if we do look back to the beginning of the year, gold did start positive, and coming from prices of $1,520 per ounce, gold has managed to hit above 1,800 at the current market price. But it did reach highs of above $2,000 per ounce. But in regards to the trend, we do understand that there are certain economic data and certain breaking news that do play a major role and an impact on this precious metal. We get to understand in what can affect. So we do need to keep our eyes on certain economic data to understand which way the direction will be moving. But before I do move on, I would like to explain in detail, showing you my charts to have a better understanding in what we're looking at. Now, I currently am on the hourly chart. As we can see here on this section, now gold has been consolidating. It is still in the positive zone compared to yesterday after the announcement of the no trade deal for the Brexit that was announced by Boris Johnson. We did see a plunge of 1.5% on the pound, so on the sterling pound. Now we can see here the impact it had on the precious metal. So we did see a strong boost, and ironically, this should not be happening, but it did happen when, at the same time, when gold did gain its strength and it did have its value increase, we also saw a same result with the silver. And the ironic part is even the US dollar had an increase. So this is just something to consider. And if I do go back on the daily chart, I would like to give a bit more brief understanding in what happened at the beginning of the year. As we can see here, as I mentioned, that it was from lows of $1,520 per ounce, we did see an increase here. So it is an uprising trend, but due to the COVID-19 vaccine, COVID-19 pandemic, this is exactly what happened. We saw a very strong plunge down here. So it was a very strong bearish force, but gold did try to correct itself. So it did continue in an uprising trend until July. And ever since it reached that time, gold has been striving to stabilize itself. So we are looking at a multi-month corrective phase. So that is from this section, the past 6 months until today. So as we can see here, it is in a downward trend, but nonetheless, it is in the positive zone. So as compared to what happened last week, as we can see here, let me just get back on the hourly chart. As we can see here, this was the bullish force that continued and currently is still continuing on the same trend. Now, are we expecting a final buying opportunity for December? Because if the gold does break its current line, and if it does establish around $1,750 per ounce, this could turn out to be one of the last great buying opportunities. So this is something to consider. And as I mentioned earlier on about the way the gold is moving, currently, let me just zoom back in. Currently, it is consolidating on this area. So it is still in the positive zone. Now, another factor I would like to mention is the Japanese yen strengthened. Now, Japan had released a stimulus package of more than $7 billion. So this is a very strong positive impact on the gold, since the US dollar will have a negative impact. So this is something to consider as one of the reasons why the precious metal is rising. So the US dollar is currently looking vulnerable. So this is another point to mention. But nonetheless, gold is still in the positive zone. Now, just before I would conclude my session, I'd like to thank all of you for watching my show. Please do not forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep you updated soon. So please do stay tuned. Thank you very much, and wishing you all a great day ahead.